Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me on Shooting It Raw. A year ago, I met up with Rachel Smith, and we recorded this episode, which was a great one, because Rachel's a kind of person who, we live these weird parallel lives, two Canadians living in Hong Kong for years, and the stuff that Rachel has done and her commitment to being creative and to just living a great life. It's not like she goes, "Oh, I'm going to live a great life." It's more like she just does her thing, and so inspired and so impressed because she's so generous about her workspace, about her creative expression, about her whole energy. She's awesome. She's awesome. So I'm really happy to reissue this episode because it's just great. Okay, so do enjoy and keep making every second count. Okay, bye. I can come in, Rachel.
Hello.
Rachel. Here we go. There's no video.
I ran away.
I did. You ran away. I ran away. We both ran away.
Nice to meet you.
I love this. What is this? It's amazing.
This is my studio.
This is amazing.
This is my second life. Yes.
I don't know where to begin. This is amazing. Dude, okay, you've got a table. That's good.
I do.
I need about 5 minutes to set up and a plug.
That's great because I haven't actually finished making the coffee yet. Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. So, Rachel P. Smith, what's the P for? Just to kind of separate in the crowd?
If your name is Rachel Smith, you would put an initial in the middle as well.
That's true. What's P for?
It's my middle initial.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to say, before we even start, I don't even know if it's recording, but you have the best voice.
Oh, thank you very much.
In person, I don't know what happens because it's totally fallen apart. But in the podcast, the best voice. So it's very dreamy.
It's my podcasting voice.
Very dreamy.
So I actually work for the Jockey Club as well, doing the on-course announcements.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, so that sounds really exciting, but it's just the legal stuff. It's really boring.
Right.
But that's kind of how I got into voice work, was working for them. And, I went in and I was really nervous the first couple of days. And I thought, what I want to do is I want to sound like that person in Welcome.
Okay, yeah.
Who's doing the in aisle 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
you need to have the Cantonese accent, though.
No, this is the English side.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to channel. So I do my little, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Right.
the
I'm going to break you. I'm going to break you. No, it's not.
Oh, don't worry. It fluctuates. But when I tell stories on stage for Hong Kong Stories, I hate how my voice ends up because I'm not controlling it. I'm too busy telling a story, so I'm not carefully curating my voice the way that I can do when I'm hosting the podcast and I can just re-record. Right? I don't hate it. That's too strong a word, but I'm always just a little bit like, I wish I would have lowered that tone and not raised at the end of sentences.
Would you describe yourself as somebody who's a perfectionist or attention for detail? Would you?
No.
Would you be an accountant?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I am so shit at things like that.
Awesome.
So shit.
Awesome.
But when I'm doing something I care about doing it well.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
In that case, if we're talking about sort of watercolor painting, I'm well known for being very anal retentive.
Right.
Yeah. I'm I must use the right paint.
Sure,
I must use the right paper. I must use.
No. Well, I think those are kind of the instruments that you're like a musician gets their instrument.
Yeah.
The Jenny Page who I had on the podcast last week was she plays the oboe, and she's telling me about how it's a double reed instrument, and that really you have to they have to conform to your mouth. They're your instruments. So
it's
the same thing with your materials.
Yeah. And it allows me as well. I do a lot of stuff that I give myself rules. that limit what I do a lot because I find that to be bizarrely immensely freeing.
No, for sure. For sure.
And so now that I've used, very professional materials and created work that I'm very proud of, when I want to play, I can go back and just use crap.
Yeah.
And I come up with all kinds of stuff that I'm super excited about. And I can either reproduce that in good quality again, or I can keep going with the less good materials, depending on what it is that I want to do with it. So it becomes really exciting to even pick up a paintbrush and a crappy set of kids' paints and go, well, let's see how far I can push this medium.
Rachel Smith.
And that's me.
No. So normally what I do is I get the person to first talk about, what does photography mean to them? And then that's usually how the podcast starts. Like that's but you screw that format. Let's play with it. Oh, so you've already given a window into your head. So we'll talk about the space in a second, which I'm completely in love with. Okay, let me ask you the question then. So you're obviously a creative spirit, creative artist. We're surrounded by your work. We're surrounded by we're in your studio. What does photography mean to you?
Well, photography and I have a complicated relationship because I spend my life making visual art. Photography and I have never gotten along.
Okay.
So I am crap at photographing my work. I am crap at framing a photograph, but my husband is an incredible photographer. Oh. So I really, really had to...
Okay, so please stop. Let's cut this conversation short. Bring your husband in, and I'm just joking.
No,
just
that's totally fine.
No, not at all. No, I don't want to talk to him.
You might want to.
No,
he's very interesting.
Keep going.
Except there's no interesting people on the podcast, so... No, but... He's a very good photographer.
Yeah.
And he's a very good portrait photographer.
Oh, nice.
So we've been married now for 22 years, I think. And
sweet, yeah.
I just leave the photography to him. So I don't feel the pressure to be good at photography. I don't feel the pressure to have a good feeling for photography and stuff like that.
Sure. No, I got it.
So I appreciate it. And through him, I've learned much better what to look for in photography and how to find something that is you can see the work that's gone into it in terms of people's eye and their framing, their composition. And even though I can't emulate that, I feel like through him I've found a better appreciation for the amount of effort that it takes to take a good photograph.
Okay. Now, let's just say I was speaking to a biologist whose job does field research and doesn't really make creative art. But I say to them, well, what's photography to you? For him or her, it's a tool, right? So going back to the question, I think there's the tension of, or the sort of attention to photography as a creative medium that you don't use. But so then for creative work, but what is photography for you? Maybe it's just a tool. Maybe it's just
No, it's everything from a craft to high art form. It's beautiful. It's like, as you said before, playing music, which is also it's like another universe that I don't understand. Love to hear it. Don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't know how to do any musical stuff.
Right.
But I find that photography, because that I have that slight insight into that world, I really appreciate a lot of it. One of our favorite photographers in Hong Kong is Ho Fan, and the work that he's done. And I love the storytelling element when you get a good photographer. Anything to do with storytelling, I'm on board.
Okay.
Right? And the way that you can tell a story with a photograph is the same thing that I do when painting. I'm find painting easier than clicking the shutter.
Sure. No, I get it.
Because there's a lot of stuff, and I can't be expert in everything. So just leave it behind.
Totally great.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Hong Kong?
Since 2005.
2005. Wow.
Yeah.
We got here in 2003.
Right.
Why are we only meeting now?
I don't know.
It's not right.
Yeah,
this is weird, man. So for the listeners, here's my journey. It's crazy raining, blah, blah, blah. I took a motorcycle into Saikong, then I took a minibus over to the Juice of the Garbage. Drink freely, shooting it raw. You're fine. We're having coffee at our studio. Take the minibus get to Nathan Road, walk through Nathan Road. Nathan Road's like intense. Come up to this eighth...
The Bedouin.
What?
Sorry, it's my favorite joke.
What is?
Intense.
Yeah. Oh, intense.
Like the Bedouin. They're nomadic people. They live in tents.
Ah, right.
Sorry.
Those are my people.
Yeah, they live in tents. So
And
they're
it's
intense.
true. We're intense. You're right. It makes sense. And I got, okay.
It never stops being funny.
Okay. Right. So,
Sorry.
no, it's great. It's great. No, stop.
Anytime you say that word anywhere in the universe,
sure.
Know that I am giggling.
Well, I'm going to find it. Because that's a really intense reaction. Okay. You're on the 8th floor. And it's really I love this about Hong Kong. Like from the outside, it's like whatever. And then you come upstairs and you've got this studio, which is very rare. I've been to a couple of studios with the different podcast guests. But this is rare and it's amazing. And we're going to get to know you through your work. I love it. Thank you so much.
I totally interrupted your story of how you got here. You were on Nathan Road and it was intense, and then you missed it. Then you stopped there.
I found the building. I walked over. Yeah, I didn't have to kill anybody. I saw people. It's morning, so we're just having our coffee. So let's dive into the first photograph, shall we?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to put my glasses back on so I can see it.
So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.